In the heart of the vast, sun-drenched savannah, lived a little lion cub named Leo. Unlike the other cubs, who pounced and roared with gusto, Leo was a bit ... different. The other animals would often chuckle. "Oh, look at little Leo," they'd say, trying to be a big, brave lion. Today, he announced, his voice booming like thunder, "You will learn the most important lesson for any lion, the roar of courage." It was a roar that could protect the pride and warn off danger. The other cubs puffed out their chests, eager to try. They let out growls and rumbles, each one trying to be louder than the last. But when it was Leo's turn, all that came out was a tiny, breathy mew. Laughter echoed across the clearing. Humiliated, Leo turned and ran, tears blurring the golden landscape. He ran until his little legs ached, finding himself in a part of the savannah he'd never seen before. It was a grove of ancient baobab trees, their thick trunks twisted like wise old giants. He sat beneath the largest one and cried. Suddenly, a gentle voice chirped from above, "Why the long face, little one?" Leo looked up to see a tiny, colorful sunbird perched on a branch. Her name was Xena. Leo sniffled and explained his squeaky roar and how he felt like a failure. Xena tilted her head. "Courage isn't just about being loud, little lion," she sang. "True courage is about facing your fears, no matter how small you feel." Xena told Leo a secret. She said that the biggest, strongest animals in the savannah weren't always the bravest. She had seen tiny meerkats stand up to slithering snakes and clever mongooses outsmart hyenas. "Bravery," she explained, "lives in your heart, not in your throat." Leo listened, mesmerized. Could it be true? Could he be brave without a mighty roar? Xena decided to show him. "Let's start with something small," she chirped. "See that river? It's wide and fast, but there's a log bridge. Let's cross it together." Leo's heart pounded. The river looked like a hungry monster, and the log seemed so wobbly. He wanted to say no, to run back to the safety of his home. But then he looked at Xena, this tiny bird who wasn't afraid of anything. He remembered her words about courage living in the heart. He took a deep breath, planted one paw on the log, then another. It wobbled, and he froze. "You can do it, Leo." Leo focused on Xena's bright feathers, and step by shaky step he made it to the other side. He'd done it. He felt a flicker of pride, a feeling he hadn't felt in a very long time. Over the next few days, Xena became Leo's courage coach. They climbed rocky hills that seemed as tall as mountains to Leo. He learned to track insects, staying silent and patient. He even helped a baby tortoise who had flipped onto its back, using his nose to gently push it upright. With each small victory, Leo felt a little stronger, a little braver. He realized Xena was right. Courage wasn't about a big roar. It was about the little things you do to help others and to overcome your own fears. He was so busy learning and growing, he almost forgot about his squeaky roar. One scorching afternoon, as Leo and Xena were exploring near the edge of the Pride's territory, they heard a frantic cry for help. It was Mia, a young gazelle, and her leg was caught in a thorny vine. As they rushed to her, a shadow fell over them. Two hungry hyenas emerged from the tall grass, their eyes glinting and their laughter sending a shiver down Leo's spine. They were closing in on the trapped gazelle. Fear, cold and sharp, gripped Leo. His first instinct was to run, to hide, to find his father. He was just a small cub. What could he do? But then he looked at Mia, her eyes wide with terror. He looked at Xena, who was bravely fluttering around the hyenas' heads, trying to distract them. And he remembered everything she had taught him. Courage wasn't about being big or loud. It was about standing up for what's right, even when you're scared. He knew what he had to do. He planted his forepaws firmly on the ground, puffed out his chest, and looked the hyenas straight in the eye. He didn't think about how he sounded. He just thought about protecting his friends. He opened his mouth and let out the biggest, most powerful sound he could muster. But it wasn't a roar. It was a sharp, piercing yip, followed by a surprisingly loud squeak. The hyenas stopped, confused. They had never heard such a strange noise from a lion cub. It wasn't scary, but it was so unexpected it made them pause. In that moment of hesitation, Leo charged forward. Not to attack, but to get between them and Mia. He stomped his feet and yipped again, making himself look as big as possible. It was a ridiculous sight, but it was also incredibly brave. Just then, a real roar, a true roar of courage, thundered across the savannah. It was Leo's father. He had heard the commotion and came running, the whole pride right behind him. The hyenas, seeing the mighty king and his lionesses, turned and fled without a second thought. Leo's father rushed to his side, nuzzling him proudly.